But now all of a sudden you've got parents showing up. You got parents fighting and pushing back. I mean, you had that story about the parent that a FOIA request.
Oh, we actually, I pulled this up.
Yeah.
So we've got this from the Daily Signal. Mom says school board threatened to sue her for seeking public information on critical race theory in curriculum. The craziest thing about it is she found out because in their meeting minute, like their itinerary, it says discussion action filing lawsuit against Nicole Solis to challenge filing over 160 APRA requests.
Whoa.
This is a mom who said, I just want documents on the curriculum to see if you're teaching kids critical race theory. And then before she gets any notification, they're discussing filing a lawsuit against her over this. What are they hiding?
And see, this is the mom that in 2020, they went after the suburban soccer mom. Orange man bad, whatever. But now, because of their overreach, they just made that mom an activist. And they just made that mom engaged in the political process. And that is going to be the difference as we go forward. It really, and Lydia and I were talking about this driving up here. Too often people have just focused on the federal government. I know who my congressman, my senator, I'm voting for president and nothing else. Now people are starting to realize the school board and the city council, that level of governance that touches you the most. Tip O'Neill said, all politics are local. Now people are getting engaged, and that is scaring the bejesus out of the left.
And you know what I think a lot of people are realizing too? How important their governors are. A lot of people didn't pay attention to this. And so we were talking about...
Well, I hope they pay attention to the race that I'm in.
Oh, that's the point, right?
Yeah.
So I can't remember who we were talking to. We were talking about Ron DeSantis and maybe a Trump DeSantis ticket. And the fear from some of these people in Florida is like, but if you take away Ron DeSantis from Florida and he enters a presidency that doesn't control the Congress or the courts, then you end up depowering DeSantis because he is an effective governor in Florida.
And that's what people are starting to realize is that the states are the most important entity. And then from the states, it goes down to the county commissions, to the city councils, to the school boards. And that's where Republicans have not done a real good job of focusing on previously. And that has been a big turn that we saw in the state of Texas. We won back a lot of school board seats. We won back a lot of city council seats because we got people engaged. We got people focusing on that in our municipal level elections this past May.
You got to understand, though, how I think these people are evil because what they're doing is these critical race theorists, they want to bring what we call critical race applied principles or crap into these schools. And they will move from blue cities, Democrat cities, into rural areas, into red areas, run for the board with no political affiliation, and then once they're in, indoctrinate the kids.
Yes.
So we're seeing this in West Virginia, in areas that are deep red. You got MAGA flags, Trump flags. There are flags that say F Biden everywhere. But for some reason, the schools are adamant about critical race applied principles being taught to these kids. And it's because many of the parents weren't paying attention.
They are now.
They are now.
Yeah.
And you were seeing these videos of the moms showing up at this meeting screaming. There was one really viral video of that black man saying his kids are being told they can't succeed. Think about how insidious and nefarious it is to tell that man's children they can't succeed.
That's how you're trying to make the next generation of victims. And that's what progressive socialism has to have. If you're a victor, why do you need them? Okay, why do you need the handout? Why do you need to be told to stay at home and we'll send you a check? I want to get out and I want to work for myself. And that's the corruption. That's the undermining of the fabric of America that we see. And that is really the liberty and freedom that you're talking about, Ian. The ability to go out with your own mind and do for yourself. But when they take that away, then all of a sudden you have these young people, like you're saying, that America sucks. America's horrible. America's bad.
The biggest institutionalization happened over the past year when they locked everybody down, shut down the businesses, and then put them on government payments. And now these people are stuck in it. You can't just cancel it.
They become institutionalized.
Yep. So how you're getting $16 an hour on average from these payments. You can't be evicted. Why are you going to go find a job somewhere that pays $16 an hour if you get it for free?
And that's how they went into a living wage.
That's right.
They couldn't get it through a legislative process. So what did they do? They put people out of work. They back-ended it, and they went and destroyed and decimated the mom and pop stores, all the small businesses, and now they are dependent upon the government.
But I think it's an exploitation of the weakness of many of these people and the circumstances many of these people find themselves in, mostly in cities.
Of course.
Out here, we've been growing a lot of our own food.
It's a rugged individualism once you get outside the city.
That's
right. But even myself, growing up in the inner city of Atlanta, Georgia, we had our own garden. And, got back there with my dad, and we worked the garden. We grew our own food and whatever. But how much of that do you see today?
But people need to.
They got to.
Exactly. When the government comes and says, now you're dependent upon us, you can say, I'll grow my own food.
It kind of started off like, as Americans, we were all kind of decentralized. We had our state, we had our local farms, we worked locally, and then it slowly started to federalize over the 1800s and became more and more centralized. And now with the internet, it's shattering and decentralizing again, because you can see like a local guy farming makes a YouTube channel, has 1.6 million followers, and people start emulating his local behavior locally. And you see like Ron DeSantis is a super famous guy who's a governor who like 20 or 30 years ago, you might not even know his name.
But now what are they doing? You have the Facebook, you have the Twitters and the YouTubes that are going out and saying, that content we're going to censor.
Yeah, and it's pressure.
It
like
is.
the Ayn Rand quote. This is what I explain to people. They're not outright banning us. They're slowly banning channels. They've given Steven Crowder several strikes. They're really close, trying to getting rid of him. And one of the strikes Crowder got was for quoting CDC data. They don't care. Now, for us, we get the applied pressure. That's where people mention, hey, I don't get notifications for your videos anymore. It's weird that somebody would come and watch this show every day. We do it at 8 p.m. And then YouTube would think they don't like. YouTube's argument is, if people don't click the notifications and don't engage in the content, we're not going to notify them anymore, even if they ask for the notifications. Then how is it we have people saying, I watch a show every day, I'm not getting notifications anymore, or I was unsubscribed from your channel? These are the things that people have been feeling for some time, and it's the pressure they put on you, because here's what they want. They isolate the audience that can watch a show like this, so that over time we don't get new viewers, but we slowly lose viewers.
Sure.
Unless
they bleed you out.
Right. However, I think we've been doing a particularly good job. I think Crowder has. We are growing regardless. That's why I say sharing this video and sharing the videos of the creators you like shuts down that attempt to put obstacles in our way. They're going to give as many advantages as possible to all of the left channels. These podcasts appear on the front page. You've never used a computer before. You open it up, you turn on YouTube, boom, there's a left-wing mainstream establishment podcast. For stuff like this, anti-establishment or right-wing content, nah, it's not going to happen. They're gonna push you down. They're gonna hide you from the main algorithm. You're not gonna see what's happening.
But isn't it understanding? Again, Lydia and I, we had great conversation driving up from Reagan Airport. This is the 1984. This is the brave new world that we're living in. And young people, I just got to ask, why do you want to hang out with control freaks? I mean, if you're on a college campus, why do you want to hang out with the people that are going to tell you what you can see, what you can eat, what you can wear, what you can drive, all of this stuff. I thought, me being a dad, now grandpa, my daughters always say, leave me alone. Let me do my own thing. But now you've got, big government coming in and telling you exactly everything. Flying up here, and we were discussing this, I am sick and tired of hearing the constant drone in the airport. The TSA, the law says that you must wear a mask in the airport. Not failing to wear a mask will result in a fine or criminal penalties. And I'm thinking, what law? There's never been a law.
I think Thomas Massey tweeted this. Yeah. We never voted on that. That never happened.
That's what I'm saying. There's never been a law. And what is a law? I mean, I remember Schoolhouse Rock, and it kind of taught you how you get to become, you saw it as a bill, and then you become a law. There was never a law that says that we have to wear a mask in airports or wherever. But see, when you are constantly droning people with this messaging and what you see out there in the public space, then all of a sudden people become the mindless lemmings and they just accept it, much the same as you saw in 1984. And so I would say to everybody that's out there, the next time you're in an airport or someplace and someone says that, you have to follow this law, ask the person, show me the law. When was it passed? When was it signed? Because it was not. And so we are moving away from being a constitutional republic to being a constitutional monarchy where someone's just sitting back and signing stuff.
It's not even necessarily a monarchy. It's something. It's despotism.
Yes.
You saw it with these governors.
It's totalitarian.
Yeah, it was remarkable. Cuomo, he killed 15,000 people.
Yeah.
And nothing happens.
Yeah.
He's going to get away with it. He got away with it as far as I can tell, right?
And he will.
That's horrifying. It really is.
Beyond,
he was warned,
Whitmer and everyone else.
He was warned that if he put sick people in these nursing homes, he would kill them. and he had the Mercy vessel. He had the Javits Center, and he
Never
said,
used it.
Meh, killed the people instead. And that's it. He gets away with it. The only scandal that erupts. Okay, so that was a bit of a scandal, but then, oh no, he inappropriately talked to women and touched them. I mean, that's bad for sure, but wow. He can kill 15,000 people, and the media is more concerned that he was inappropriate with women.
Yeah, he did the Bill Clinton, habeas grabus. Okay.
Yeah. It's I'll tell you one thing. Watching some of these stories about schools and the indoctrination of children, I'm mixed in my pessimism and optimism. I'm optimistic. Steve Bannon said something that when these mothers see what their kids are being taught, there's going to be a major revolt, and it's going to cause massive change. And I think he's right.
Absolutely.
I think when a little kid comes home and tells their mom they're evil and they hate them, the mom's going to be like, what happened to my baby? Like, they're not going to stand for that. But I'll tell you what makes me really optimistic is what you're talking about with the states, the power the states have, and we've seen it. Ron DeSantis hitting it out of the park. Texas is doing pretty good. I think maybe when you're in there.
Yeah, I mean, we lost some 10,000 small businesses, and really, Ron DeSantis is the gold standard right now.
Yeah.
And, there are a lot of things. Look, our border. We should not be sitting around asking for a mother may I from the federal government. We should be doing everything possible to protect and secure our border.
I want to follow up on that a little. If you were going to establish the National Guard, like to protect the border, how would that work long term? Would they stay there for long periods of time?
They stay there until we get this thing under control. They stay there until we have, driven the cartel into being irrelevant. They stay there until we make sure that we get that situation, because you got to stem the flow, and then you have the ability to, start the deportations, start arresting people, start getting them out of the state. But you got to stem the flow, and no one is stemming the flow right now.
Would it be like building facilities for them to live at on the border? And then you just line up like basically bases, National Guard bases?
Well, I mean, you can set up some temporary type of housing, but the bottom line is that you get biometric data and you say, have a great day, and go back across the Rio Grande River. I mean, you're not coming into Texas to hang out. Okay? You come across, and that's the deterrent. That's the deterrent that was there, the Remain in Mexico policy of President Trump, that the Biden administration flipped. And I think it's Section 42, which is the COVID emergency order that President Trump put in place. If they lift that, then Katie barred the door. There's even more people that's going to come across.
I think it's remarkable that taking control of your borders is racist, according to Democrats.
Well, like I said, I ain't really black, according to them. So,
yeah, right.
Then again, Tim, that's what I'm saying. I'm not responding.
Right.
To those insidious
Just do it.
names. Just do it.
Right.
And that's the problem of Republicans, because they put themselves in the box, in the corner that the left is trying to create for them. It's just saying, I'm tired of your name calling. We're going to do what's right by the rule of law.
Absolutely. Thanks for checking out this clip from the Timcast IRL podcast. If you want to see the full show, come back to this channel, youtube.com/TimcastIRL, Monday through Friday at 8 p.m., where you can leave comments and super chat, and we actually will read your comments on the show. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe, and if you want exclusive members-only content, segments you can't get anywhere else, go to timcast.com, become a member, and we even have full bonus episodes. Thanks for hanging out, and we'll see you all next time.